Welcome to Crimson Clovers, the podcast that tells you the most chilling stories from all across the world. I'm your host, and today we're traveling back to 1946 to a quiet town on the border of Texas and Arkansas. A town haunted by the faceless monster who became known as the Phantom Killer of Texarkana, which is a mashup of the name Texas and Arkansas, because the town is in the middle of both of them. I know. Okay, two things from the beginning. Number one, I'm sick. So if my voice sounds a little bit off, that's why. And if I say something's wrong, that's why. Two, if you're watching this at night or you get easily triggered or scared by this kind of stuff, I urge you to close this or keep it on mute if you really want to support. Because, yeah, I don't want you to get scared for no reason. Okay, so imagine this. It's a warm, dark night in the middle of Texarkana. The streets are silent and the air is heavy with the scent of blooming flowers, because it's flower season, come on. Of course it's flowers. So the couples are parked on a secluded lover's lane, seeking privacy under the cover of the darkness, unaware that they're being watched. Between February and May of 1946, a masked figure stalked these roads, striking terror into the hearts of this small, unsuspecting town. Over the course of 10 weeks, he attacked 8 people, killing 5 and leaving no clues, no fingerprints, none of anything, and no mercy. So, yay! It all began on the night of February 22nd. Jimmy Hollis and Mary Jean Larry were parked on a quiet road when a man wearing a white mask with holes cut out for his eyes appeared at their window. He shined a flashlight into their faces, blinding them. Holding a gun, he ordered them out of the car. Terrified, they obeyed, because we don't want to get killed, you know? Unfortunately, this wasn't just a robbery. This attacker savagely beat up Jimmy, fracturing his skull, and then chased Mary into the darkness. But fortunately, she managed to escape. The Phantom, though, he let her go. Why? Was he just getting started? Did he feel bad? We'll never know. We'll just, never know. A month later, the first bodies were found. Richard Griffin and Polly Ann Boer were discovered brutally murdered in Richard's car, shot in the back of their heads, and their bodies were staged in a really bloody way. And there were no signs of robbery, no clues, just cold-blooded evidence and violence and just blood. But the town was shaken, obviously, but nothing could prepare them for what came next. On April 14th, also a month later, Paul Martin and Betty Jo Booker were found dead. Paul was shot 4 times, his body discarded on the side of the road, and Betty Jo's body was discovered 2 miles away, posed as if she had been dragged. She also had a saxophone on her, which was missing, and later was found abandoned. Now, did the Phantom see it as a trophy, as a twisted message? We'll also never know. Texarkana was, of course, gripped by panic. Residents barricaded themselves indoors, all the guns everywhere were sold out, and curfews were self-imposed, but the Phantom was still relentless. On May 3rd, he struck again, this time invading the home of Virgil and Katie Starks. 2 shots through the window killed Virgil instantly, and Katie was shot twice in the face, but somehow she managed to escape, bloodied and barely alive. This attack was seen as different, bolder, and the Phantom was growing more confident and more dangerous. Despite a massive search for him, hundreds of suspects, and the involvement of the Texas Rangers, the Phantom Killer was never ever caught. The leading suspect, Yoel Sweeney, was imprisoned on other charges not directly related to the murder, and no evidence linked him to the murders also. So, yeah. And his wife gave a detailed confession, but she later withdrew it. Without her testimony, the case fell apart. To this day, the identity of the Phantom Killer remains unknown. Was it Sweeney? Was it the wife? Or did the real murderer vanish into the shadows, never to be seen again? The town of Texarkana never forgot, though. This fear became a legend and immortalized in the 1976 film The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Even now, they screen the movie every Halloween, a chilling reminder of the phantom that once stalked their streets. I think by now he's dead. So, if archaeologists find something or something like that, maybe they'll find him. But if not, then he's just dead. What do you think, though? Was the Phantom a man driven by madness? Was he crazy? Was he a cop? Was he in the FBI? What was happening? What was, lurking in the streets? Come on. You need to have some theories. Anyway, thank you for listening to Crimson Clovers. Lock your doors, stay safe, and lock your doors. Bye-bye.